afternoon and welcome to the Neighborhood Partnership Technical Proposal webinar. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Nicola Lewis and I'm with the City of Tamarac's Housing Division. If you're on the webinar today, then you must be representing an HOA or condo association and need additional information about applying for a neighborhood partnership program. Next slide. The objective of today's workshop is to assist associations and organizations to prepare a complete proposal. We will encourage neighborhood organization participation, and we'll also answer questions that you may have about our program. The purpose of the Neighborhood Partnership Program is to enhance neighborhood vitality and visual image of neighborhoods. Also to improve livability, foster community needs, support neighborhood associations, and promote community spirit. Throughout the presentation, you may submit questions using the Q&A button at the bottom right side of your monitor. We will try to answer questions during the presentation. If not, we ensure that we'll answer all questions at the end. So let's get started. So the annual budget of the partnership program is $50,000, $10,000 for each of our 4 districts and $10,000 at large. Award of at-large funding will be based solely on the highest ranked score as determined by the evaluation criteria. Communities will be required to contribute at least 50% of the project total of their own funding. Sorry. Next slide. So who can apply? Not-for-profit neighborhood associations and homeowner associations that must be at least 5. The community must be at least 5 years old. This program is not for individual homeowners. I want to stress that because we got a lot of calls this past week of individual homeowners who are trying to apply for this program. This is not the program. The program that is designed for individual homeowners is our minor home repair program, and that also coincidentally opens on August 15th at 8 a.m. as well. Applications for that program will be on our website. So if you're here for the minor home repair program, I'm sorry, this is not for you. Again, application period for this program starts August 15th at 8 a.m. and it ends August 26th at 4 p.m. We'll take our last application at 4 p.m. on the 26th, so please be on time. You may obtain an application from our office here at City Hall at 7525 Northwest 88th Avenue, or you can go online to our website at tamarac.org/neighborhood beautification program, and you can download the application from there. Let's talk about eligible projects. When you're doing your application, keep in mind that your project must benefit the entire community. It must also be visible and accessible from public right-of-ways. Some examples of eligible projects are low water use landscape projects, removal of nuisance species, subdivision signs, which is typically the most popular one we see, enhanced lighting, hedge materials, tree planting in right-of-ways. Outdoor fitness structures, exercise stations, and even outdoor furniture, for example, around the community pool. Projects that are not eligible for this program are basically your typical maintenance type projects. So for example, resealing or repaving streets, routine painting of walls or fences, tree trimming and shrub removal, projects commencing also before your approval date from the city will not be considered. Priority will be given to the following applicants: first-time recipients, more visible projects that are more visible, projects to older or declining neighborhoods that require revitalization, or projects serving a larger number of residents. Some of the issues applicants have encountered when trying to submit this application is, first and foremost, typically incomplete applications. Try not to submit incomplete applications to us. If you have questions, give us a call. You know, we'll provide our number at the end of this slide. Give us a call here at Housing and we'll be able to assist you with your question if you're not sure, but try not to leave any questions blank. So sometimes they also encounter issues with providing the correct supporting documents that we request. If you have questions about that as well, reach out to us. Another thing is documenting community involvement or sweat equity. This program allows you to use sweat equity for some of the projects. Sometimes HOAs and communities have issue documenting, but again, reach out to us here in Housing and we'll be able to assist you with answering those questions. Another big one is obtaining the required number of quotes. This year, we're only requiring 2 quotes. In the past, we were requiring 3. Just ensure that your quotes are the same or for the same project. If you decide to complete your application by hand, please remember to write legibly. Someone else will be reviewing the application, or remember it's a committee that will be reviewing the application, and we want to ensure that they're able to read what you've written. Also, you have the option of downloading the application and completing your application on your computer, which is what I would recommend, but if you choose to do it by hand, that's fine as well. Just be sure that if you do download your application and complete it on your computer, that we will require wet signatures for board members or representatives. Next slide. Things to keep in mind when submitting your application. Provide good photographs of the proposed site. If you provide a photograph and we can't quite determine what it is or what you're trying to do, or if it doesn't match the description of your proposal, that could create a problem. Also, keep in mind that your estimates should, as I mentioned before, should reflect the same scope of work. So basically, we should be comparing apples and apples when it comes to your estimates. Also, one other additional piece of information about estimates: do not obtain an estimate from a vendor that you have no intention of using. So be sure that the vendors, I should say, that you do submit estimates for, that you plan on using any of those 2 vendors. Keep in mind as well that when you're completing your application, be brief, but provide a complete description of your project. Provide the total cost and requested city funding, and describe how your project meets the program criteria. Slide. Keep in mind, again, as I said before, this your application will go before an evaluation committee comprised of 6 members from these various departments and divisions. And that's why when you submit your proposal, you'll be required to submit 6 copies of your proposal. Keep that in mind as well. Once your project is approved, you will receive an approval letter from the city. All projects must be inspected and completed within 1 year of signing the agreement. So we will notify you once your project is approved. And after our approval, you may proceed with obtaining your permits and things of that nature. However, keep in mind that if you start your project before an approval, your project will be denied. And again, I want to stress that it must be completed within 1 year of signing the agreement. Not 1 year from approval, but 1 year from the date of the agreement that you will be signing with the city. Again, I just want to reiterate some of the key dates, which is August 15th at 8 a.m. and the submittal deadline is August 26th at 4 p.m. At this time, we will take any questions you may have. So if you have questions, now's a good time to put those in the chat. This is a brief webinar, but our application really isn't that difficult. And again, like I said, if you have questions, submit them now. And if you have questions during your time when you're completing your application, feel free to reach out to us here in Housing. Cassie, I wasn't sure if we had any questions. Do you guys see any questions? I don't. Oh. Okay. Okay, so one of the questions we do have is, can we get a copy of other successful applications? That would have to be a public records request through our city clerk's office. But yes, you may obtain one, but through the city clerk's office as a public records request. Another question we have here is, if you have started the project before you request the funding, and the answer to that is no. You cannot begin the project before you have been approved by the city. I'm afraid not. One other question is, do we put packets together, paper packets? Yes, you will be delivering 6 packages to the city along with a jump drive with your photographs. See here, I'm going through the questions, bear with me. Okay. Another question we have here is, do we submit in Word? Can it be emailed? No, we'd like you to drop off the documents because we do need 6 packages, plus we do need your photos, and that may be too much to email. I believe if you have started the project before you request the funding, I don't know if that's the same question I answered earlier, but no, you cannot start your project before you're approved by the city. We do have contact numbers. We will publish it at the end of this presentation, but the housing division's number is 954-597-3549. You will be required to submit hard copies of the application. I see another question asking about that. I don't know what time this person jumped on, but you will be required to submit hard copies. Okay, we have some more questions coming in. Can we get a list of folks that are on today's call? I'm not sure if you can get a list of the folks that are on today's call. This meeting is through Eventbrite. I'll check to see, but we'll check to see if you can obtain that information. So if you want to send an email to housing@tamarack.org, we'll try to accommodate you. I did not see an actual form to submit responses. Is there an actual form where we type responses? How much was spent on the program last year? Again, you will have to submit an email to housing@tamarack.org, and we can provide that information to you. No, you will not need 6 jump. Someone asked if they need 6 jump drives. No, we don't need 6 jump drives. We just need 1 jump drive and 6 application packages. Our instructions are very detailed in the application package, so you will be directed as you know how to proceed once you obtain the application. Do established communities have to fill out the homeowner association, condo association registration form in the packet? Yes, you do. Yes, you will have to complete that. And I believe those are all the questions that I see here. Give me another moment. Let me see if there are any other questions that I did not catch. So basically, it looks like most of the questions that we've received so far have to do with applications, projects starting before you have applied from the city. And no, you cannot start the project before you've applied or before you've been approved. Projects that have begun already will not be approved by this program. Great, so one last call for questions. Otherwise, that's the end of our presentation. I don't see any new questions coming in, so again, I'd like to thank you for joining us on our Neighborhood Partnership Program presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Housing at 954-597-3549, or you can email us at housing@tamarack.org. Thanks again.